Hey everybody. So I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm using my Bluetooth earbuds. So I guess I'll check later, make sure the sound was okay. But I'm just gonna be reading for some general vibes today. I'm sure you guys recognize this deck. It's two just like playing card decks put together, and then I threw like a couple of extra cards in there. So we've already had one jumper. I'm, just pulling for general vibes. Where are we going from here? How are we moving forward? The card that came out was the Ace of Wands, so that's a good beginning. Fiery, creative energy can be, of course, an erotic type of energy, but it doesn't have to be. It can be also like the kind of creative energy and creative spark you might put into investments or put into... Oh, and if you guys want, hop on the chat and tell me how my audio is for the video, because I think my Bluetooth headphones are hooked up, but it's always so hard to tell. I just wanted to go live and not really worry about the audio too much, but of course if you can't hear me then... So the Ace of Wands is a great energy for moving forward, for getting the things that we need out of our life, but it is a beginning. So kind of starting over from scratch, potentially, a lot of us. I know I am. At this particular time, I talked on the phone to my parents the other day, and I was like, this is the scariest my life's ever been. But it's also very good. This is a Five of Swords, and the thing about this Five of Swords is you can see it's also a skull. So Five of Swords is a very combative energy. It's like a life and death struggle. And I do get that. Sorry, we got a lot of helicopters. It's a very beautiful part of the coastline over here. I'm down at Point Vernon Park today. In San Pedro. So we have the potential for this new beginning. And we've got this life or death kind of energy coming through. King of Swords has all of the answers all the time. Air sign energy. I especially associate King of Swords with Libra energy. And it's about that moderation, whereas like your Knight of Swords energy is more like your Knight of Swords energy is more black and white, divided, polarized energy. The King of Swords is a very gray area, moderate, mediator kind of an energy, but with all the answers. So it's possible that we all already have the answers that we're seeking, at this time. Two of Pentacles. Oh, the focus is so weird right now. Why is it so weird? Two of Pentacles is a good energy for new business partnerships. So the potential for new business partnerships coming in, probably with the King of Hearts. So King of Swords is air sign energy. King of Hearts is like a water sign energy. I especially associate King of Hearts with Cancer. Could be somebody that you're also somewhat romantically interested in, potentially. Although the King of Hearts is the suicide card. Or, I shouldn't say that word on the stream, but you guys know why I'm saying that. It's because he's stabbing the sword into his head. And that King of Hearts has a tendency to be very self-sacrificing for the betterment of others. A very paternal, protective energy, a passive energy to balance out the active energy of that King of Swords. So that could be a good, strong partnership between you and another person that could be part of this creative beginning. Five of Hearts. So this is kind of like that doomed romance energy. It could just be at this time that that's not really something that's in the cards for you right now, but it might be on your mind. Let me shuffle the cards a little bit. The Five of Hearts, you can see, like, you think about all those, is it Roy Lichtenstein that did the dots like this, like the very comic book kind of style, and his work is very overdramatic, shall we say. A lot of women crying, a lot of, like, people making out behind closed doors, and somebody's right on the other side of the door eavesdropping. So it's that kind of, like, romantic drama energy. We're getting, so we've got the two kings, and now we also have these two fives, which is also air energy balanced by water energy. So a lot of air and water energy coming out. We have, you know, pentacles are showing up. We've got the wands showing up. But as far as this new beginning, you've got kind of like this life or death struggle going on right now that, that would be this card here, that kind of dooms romance at this time, I think. I think that's why this is coming out like that. It's just not a good time to be getting involved with somebody in a romantic way. In a business way, I think it could be very profitable. What else do we have going on here? Ooh, some jumpers. Sorry, there's like this little pile of dirt like on the table. I'm gonna try to scoop it off my hand. It's just kind of that's okay. Let's see what we have here. We've got two aces coming out, so we're reinforcing the pentacles, and we're also reinforcing that ace of wands. So there's a really great creative opportunity coming through where money is concerned. A new financial beginning. But we have one of the Rubeus 7s coming out. So I call these Albas and Rubeus because I also do geomancy. And so on the 7s in your playing card decks, you have the figure of Rubeus laid out by the pips on the card. And if you look at the way that most of the hearts are oriented, then it's also pointed downward. Rubeus is a very ill-portended figure. And the reason that the Seven of Cups might be very tricky at this time is because it's a card of illusion. So there's a tendency maybe for fantasizing. I know I myself have gotten very caught up in that as of late. And it will get you into a lot of trouble. Because there are things here that are available. But if you're going off too far on some flight of fancy, then it will get you in trouble. Especially, you know, the wands are fire energy. They're very creative energy. We've got these pentacles that are very early suit. I mean, some people, some people read aces as a high card. Sometimes you read aces as a low card because we're talking about beginnings here. And because it's paired with the 2, I'm reading it as a beginning and a lower suit. It's a reminder to stay grounded. Because there is a lot of very potent energy here that you're going to be working with. This is a manifestation energy too. So this is one of the cards that I've stuck into the deck. And I put it in there because sometimes what you're looking for is an ending. And you don't really care what kind of ending you get. You just want some kind of ending. And so this is a 10 of Swords, 10 of Spades. And it is the USS Providence, which was a sloop, and it raided British ships from the West Indies to Nova Scotia and along the east coast. She carried 12 4-pounders, I think those are cannons, and 14 swivel guns. And they played a vital role for both the British and the Americans, I'm assuming, in the Revolutionary War. But so we need to find out how to bring in the ending that's going to herald in this new beginning. 6 of Wands, and this is a gecko. So geckos are very small. They're a little bit powerless, but they also have agency over their own condition. So right now you might not have a lot of resources or institutional power available to you, but there is a certain level of agency, and there's a freedom that you're able to exercise because you are small and somewhat insignificant at this time. 3 of Wands. So now we're getting more wands coming out. And that would be half of 6. 3 of Wands is about the energies that you have put out returning to you. So part of what is going to bring an end to this situation is this flexibility that you have in that spirit energy of the gecko, and also that energies that you have put out, whether that's to other people or whether that is to like investments, or it could be job applications that you've put out, hearing back about those. or other ways that you've invested time and resources. There might be things about this that seem like you're getting half, but it's going to end up multiplying in the long term. It's just that you have to understand that right now you're starting out like pretty much from scratch. So bringing a carefree, lighthearted, and generally sunny disposition to the situation. Being able to release your trauma and leave it behind you. Being able to move forward without having too many preconceived notions about how things should go will be useful to you at this time. And now we're building on these pentacles. So 3 of Pentacles, and you can see the camera is very excited about this card. The 3 of Pentacles is teamwork. So no longer just the 2 of you, these 2 kings, who are already quite powerful in their own right, and well capable of caring for themselves and others. Now we have this progression through the business model, the ace, the 2, and the 3, that we'll be building upon. So at first it's going to seem like half is coming back to you, but it's going to build up from there. What is it that you need to do to start this off? The sunny disposition, releasing things that are not meant for us. So that can be trauma, but it can also be situations that are not right for us. And other aspects, you know, sometimes you'll meet somebody and you kind of feel like you're maybe not quite on the same page, and that's okay. But not trying to cling so hard to every little connection that you make with people either. The jester often will make fun of the kings, right? Being able to have a lighthearted attitude and not overdoing it with the self-deprecating humor, of course, but definitely having a sense of humor about oneself, one's situation, and the office that one holds. There are going to be some struggles ahead. So in this deck, this 6 of Diamonds, or 6 of Pentacles, you can see that like the diamonds are like embedded in the teeth. So sometimes when this card comes out, it's like there's pulling teeth. You feel like you're pulling teeth in order to get paid for something. The 6 of Pentacles also has implications of there being an ebb and flow to the nature of money coming in and out of your life. And then I've been getting this card a lot lately, which is the 10 of Swords again. But what's unique about this card is that you see this person is up here. That kind of represents you. And so because there's an ending going on for you right now, you're being elevated above the situation. And all of these people down here below who are in strife and conflict are being left behind. So I found this really beautiful selenite sphere at Cricket Path. And for those of you who are not aware, I am selling my Lenormand decks on consignment at Cricket Path in Burbank. So if I have not invited you to go there before, which I feel like I have mentioned Cricket Path before, but it's such a marvelous place, and you always find amazing things there, like this very beautiful selenite sphere that you can almost see right through. What other messages do I need to give regarding this situation? Get out of conflict. Get out of conflict with yourself. Get out of conflict with others. There are ways to diffuse conflict that are not just rolling over and letting the person have their way. And we don't really teach those to children or adults. Being assertive about your situation without being aggressive, and being very straightforward about what your expectations are in a certain situation, and not settling. Very important during this time not to settle for things. And even if that means temporary discomfort in favor of long-term future payoff, it's very important for you to stick to your guns, so to speak. But that's not really a good turn of phrase to use here because it's so aggressive. Not so much sticking to one's guns, but planting your field. You're not going to plant your field and then leave it to go fallow. You're going to plant your field and you're going to tend it, and you're going to make sure your crops get watered and make sure that light and the proper temperature and everything like that is right for your particular set of crops. I feel like I use a lot of farming metaphors on this channel, a lot of agricultural metaphors. Part of that is the emphasis on it in the Egyptian afterlife texts. There's a lot of emphasis on people getting their proper allotment of land in the afterlife. Another part of it is that my grandfather had a subsistence level farm when I was growing up, and then he did have one field where he would plant, I think, cash crops, but it wasn't a very big farm. It wasn't like a major operation. Hi Jared, yes, it is live. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. So that's pretty much the card pull for right now. And let's see. This is my half and half too. Oh, thank you, Jared. I really appreciate that. You know, it's been a little bit crazy for me the past year. And I really appreciate that you have continued to come back and support the channel, even though I haven't been able to be very consistent as of late. This is half smoky quartz and half clear quartz, and it got a little bit cracked. So sometimes that happens to your crystals. Sometimes it can happen when your crystals are protecting you. There's a level of disbelief right now. It's okay to have that disbelief, but don't cling too tightly to it. Allow the disbelief, like, I'm always talking about passionate mindfulness, I know. But allow the disbelief to pass through your mind, acknowledge it, and then just let it go. And a rocket. So it's like you're putting fuel, you're fueling up and you're building this rocket right now. The rocket isn't quite ready to take off. And that 7, again, there are going to be, I'm seeing it as like 7 temptations. And these temptations might be things that you and I'm seeing it as 7, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen 7 times. It's just tying back in with the Rubaeus card of the 7 of Cups, which is like the land of illusions. Oh, no, it doesn't work like that, Jared, but I appreciate you saying that. That I have a lot of things going on, and it's not because of one particular thing. I wouldn't worry about that if that's what you're saying. Don't worry, I have I have so much going on as far as that's concerned. And we're all going through a lot right now. So I wouldn't worry about, I think what you're trying to say is that there's a personal responsibility on your part, and there really isn't. So don't worry about that. And I think that is pretty much everything that I can say about it. I mean, it seems like such a straightforward read, you know. It doesn't seem very complex. It just seems like, you know, normal stuff. But be very gentle and kind to yourselves and to each other. As our departed loved one, Jerry Springer, would say. And I'm going to end it here, but please do feel free to talk to me in the comments. Keep it positive, because that's the best way to communicate with each other. And I do delete stuff that's not positively in. Well, I do hope that it helped a bit. Because that's why I put this out here. And I don't leave it open like a two-way portal, you know, because it's a video, it kind of buffers it. It's like if you're reading a book, you're not going to read a book by a magician. You can pick anyone that you want. Or even a book like the Bible. You're not going to read the Bible and have like an effect on those ancient authors. Oh, thank you. Well, I do appreciate you telling me. And I do hope the best for you, Jared. And I really do love you guys so much. And I wish you the best. And I will talk to you again very soon.